Hi, I'm Giselle Flores.
And I'm Rob Stevenson, and we want to tell you a little about our Strategic Enrollment Management, or SEM, work. Last year, in 2023, the Academic Senate approved MJC's participation in the CCCO's 2023-24 SEM program supporting the student journey. Our group attended academies in June and January, and we've met twice a month ever since forming. Please note that this group includes the Academic Senate President and Vice President, a former Guided Pathways faculty co-lead, and a trusted campus leader who would become the classified Senate President during this project. It also includes our Director of Public Relations, a student support specialist who became an EOPS counselor, and is co-led by a student services dean. A couple of years ago, I took a strategic enrollment management in higher education course to get a better understanding before Tina, Patrick, and I tri-chaired an Institutional Effectiveness Partnership Initiative SEM project, implementing aspects of guided pathways. Before that class, I'd thought of SEM and class enrollment or scheduling as the same thing, but they aren't. I went back to look at my notes for that class, where I tried to define it and found it is, quote, a set of processes and policies associated with the recruitment and admission of college students, as well as retention, academic success, and graduation of students enrolled in post-secondary education, and commonly including the functions of admissions, tuition, fees, and financial aid, student retention, research, academic advising in and outside of the institution, curricular pathways, the student experience, marketing and institutional branding, and I still had to put much more, well, because there was much more. So it might set targets that can inform deans and faculty in determining how to serve students, but these targets are at an institutional level, and it's up to the schools, divisions, and departments that oversee each area to best determine how to operationalize changes. SEM is not just scheduling.
MJC is good at setting long-term big picture goals, and I would argue that our classes and services are excellent. But we have had a hard time setting goals based on data that get us from our work in a given semester to our 5 or 10-year objectives. These are quoted from our strategic plan and education master plan and align with the SEM project. They are lofty and our students and community need this, but how do we get there? Our institution set standards give us 5-year targets. These are big and will need consistent, well-coordinated efforts to achieve. But if we plan, we can do this.
The SEM team was asked to do a waterfall, exploring when we lost students in our 2021-22 cohort. At the Academy, we refused to set a numerical target without interrogating the data. When we returned, we looked at multiple cohorts, disaggregated by school, gender, and ethnicity, and really looked for a target we could all get behind that would move the needle, and we found it. This is a graphic showing when we lost first-time freshman students in the 2021-22 cohort. On the right are our Latinx students, and on the left are all of the other demographic groups, white, Native American, African American, Asian, etc. And there's more students in the Latinx group, and that means the percentages on the right represent a larger number of students.
We found that our Latino, Latina, and Latinx students were disproportionately affected. Here are some highlights in the data showing how we lose Latino, Latina, and Latinx students at a higher rate than all other students combined. You can find individual semesters that are exceptions, but this trend was clear in the 2 years' worth of cohorts we looked at before COVID and got worse in the 2 cohorts we had data for during the pandemic. Also, looking at the number of students in these 2 waterfalls, the Latino, Latina, Latinx cohort is larger than the non-Latino, Latina, Latinx cohort because Latino, Latina, and Latinx students are now a majority at MJC, last cited at 53%. Here, a clear opportunity to bring equity to a minoritized population while also moving the needle by serving our majority population. After reviewing the data, we set these achievable goals for the 2024-25 academic year, which have been approved by both the academic and classified senates, as well as College Council. We looked at how many students we would need to touch to move the needle 10% for first-time freshmen, and it was about 70 for the 20 to 21 and 21 to 22 cohorts. It will be bigger now that we are back, but reaching just under 100 students seems like something we can do. We also set a goal for persistence in Latino, Latina, and Latinx students in their first 6 terms because you can't know who is a first-time freshman, and we want to target getting our Latino, Latina, Latinx students onto the path and help them to belong, learn, and thrive. We think this is an effort that everyone at MJC can feel good about participating in, beyond the good work they already do. If we all try to make a difference for just one more student in our target population, we will surpass this goal.